It's Neka in the building, let's go.
What's good, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's your girl Neka. So today it is time for another Tea Talk, aka Neka's News. Alright, so today I have two topics I want to talk to you about, and they're pretty short, so I decided to include them together because they are very similar. So the first thing is, how well do you know your spouse? Your partner, your spouse, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your loved one. How well do you know them? Now, for me, the simple answer would be you don't. You do not know them. And the reason I say that is because no matter how long you have been with a person, you honestly will never truly know that person the way you think you do. Now, I'm going to go ahead and give you some background story on me, of course, always. So, what made me think of this topic is I recently was talking to my father a couple days ago, and I was kind of telling him a situation that was going on. And of course, the first thing that come to his mind, his mouth or his mind, was that I was being selfish. So, I'm coming to tell you guys. Now, when you're with a person and you talk about a situation, and I guess you try to express your feelings to that person or whatever the situation is, and the first thing that they may say is, they may say something that's totally not even relevant to what you're talking about. And it definitely don't even go for what you're trying to express to them. And they say you're selfish. Now, my dad called me selfish. So I'm not talking about my spouse at this time. My dad called me selfish because of a situation. And I could pretty much tell you the situation. So it was dealing with my car. And everybody know I have been posting on my main channel about my car. Now my boyfriend has definitely been putting in work trying to figure out what's going on with this car. We done took this car to the shop 2-3 times trying to figure out what's going on with it. So me as a person, I'm not the type of person to have to depend on anyone. I don't want to have to depend on nobody. I don't want to have to depend on you, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a friend, a mama, daddy, nobody. So my mom actually told me, hey, if your car breaks down, you need a car, you could drive my car. So then when I actually called her up and was like, hey, Mom, can I borrow your car? She was like, oh, well, what if my car breaks down? I won't have a car to drive. So pretty much zero dependability. Can't even get it out. But you can't depend on her, which I already knew that was going to be a no-go anyway. And then when it came to my boyfriend, I asked him, hey, can I drive the new car? Because my car just literally broke down. And his first reaction was like, no. So there we go. Zero dependability. Can't depend on him. So I was just like, well, it looks like I'm going to have to depend on myself. So you can't depend on anybody, right? You can't depend on anybody. So that's why I was like, you have to depend on yourself. And pretty much I said all of that just to say, how well do you know a person? And the reason I say that is because when it comes to me, I don't want nobody to sit here and say they know me, because they don't. You do not know me. My daddy always used to say, I know you, I know you, I know you. And I was like, Daddy, just because you are my father, you do not know a thing about me. You do not know anything about me. Only person in this world who know me is God. He the only person, and the only reason why he know me is because he made me. He put me on this earth. He's the only one to know me. So even for people who have been together 40, 50, 60 years, you do not know that person. They may show a true color that you have never seen before. For people who get into these relationships and they end up going to jail for a situation and you're like, oh my God, he didn't do it. I know he didn't do it. I know. You don't know. Honestly and truthfully, you don't know if he did it or not. You do not know anything about this person. You don't know. There's a lot of things I have not told you or anybody about my life, because I'm an open book and I tell you pretty much everything. But for things that are deep down hidden inside of me that I don't want nobody to know, you can't tell me you know me. You can't say you know me. And I pretty much told you all of these just to say you don't know the person you think you know. For my fiance, I don't know him, and I wouldn't dare tell him, I know you. I know you. You did such and such, or you didn't do such and such. You don't know. I'm sure he got things inside of him he don't want you to know. He don't want nobody to know. I'm sure my father has things inside of him he don't want nobody to know. My mama, things she don't want nobody to know. My brother, things he don't want nobody to know. You know, you will never know a person the way you think you know a person. I don't care if it's a best friend. I had some best friends. Thought I knew them. Didn't know a thing about them until they backstab you in the back. You know, you don't know them. You will never know them. You will never know a person in this world the way you think you know a person in this world. Never, ever. Anyway, so moving on from that, that was pretty much it. How well do you think you know your partner? I want you guys to comment down below how well you think you know your partner. Outside of knowing their favorite color, their name, their date of birth, basic things about them, you know, what type of food they like. Do you really know them? Yes or no? My answer is no. Because nobody will know me the way I know myself. Only God will know me, and only God can judge me. Okay? Anyway, so the next topic is actually going back to being, you know, talking about God. Pretty much. So now when it comes to God, how many people truly listen to him? Is he speaking to you, and can you tell he's speaking to you? Because there's a lot of people who go through things and they think God is speaking. That might not be God speaking. And also, a lot of times we want something so bad that it be us. It be ourself telling us things that God ain't telling us. So how many people is open to listening to God speak? And I'm not here to preach to you or anything like that. I'm actually just trying to talk to you about it, because I literally been sitting here lately and I've been thinking about how much God has been speaking to me. He might not physically be speaking to me, but it's like he be putting things in order for me. And I'll be like, God, man, when you gonna do this? When you gonna do that? When you gonna open up this door? When you gonna listen to me pray? When you gonna, respond to a prayer? When you gonna give me this, and when you gonna give me that? And I just keep asking and begging, asking and begging, asking and begging, right? And I know God is like, look, child, you keep wanting stuff, and you have not really listened to me at all, or you ain't heard that I done already answered that prayer. You just ain't seen it yet. And the reason I say that is because God have been looking out for me from day one. He have been putting things in order from day one. He been giving me this, giving me that. He been doing this. He been doing that. He has definitely been putting things in order for me. Now, I've been praying, God, what do I got to do to, get my YouTube channel out here? What I got to do for people to notice me? What I need to do? I'm making content. I'm being consistent. I'm posting. I'm on TikTok, and I post on Instagram. I post on Facebook. I mean, what I need to do? And I'm praying to you, Lord, what I need to do. Now, I can't say he's answering it. He's not answering. I don't really know. I'm just keep pushing. I've been praying, God, man, I want a full-time job. God, what I got to do? You guys saw me post my whole interview process up here, right? So I went through the interview. I didn't get the job, and I'm just like, God, this is not the first interview I've done. What I gotta do? I keep praying. I keep interviewing. I keep doing this. What I gotta do? And I'm like, is he answering his prayer or not? I don't know. So and I'm just like, man, what do I gotta do? I'm on the grind. I'm hustling. I'm bustling. I'm studying. I'm doing this. I'm trying to do that. And I'm just like, Lord, are you answering my prayer? What do a sister have to do? And now I'm just like, I'm so indecisive. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm indecisive because I keep making decisions. I keep making moves. I keep hopping from this and hopping to that. Now I'm making music. Then I'm doing this. And outside of working, I'm on YouTube. I'm trying to make videos. I'm making content. I got to take care of the kids. I got to come home. I got to do this. I'm just all over the place. I even told you guys about disability. Yes, I'm actually, a little disabled here. I really am, and I wouldn't lie about it. I've been telling you guys, I've been having back problems, and I do have a chronic knee condition, and I did mess up my ankle when I was a child. So, I have a bunch of things that's kind of affecting me now that I get older, and I'm just like, Lord, man, what kind of world am I living in? You know, my son is on disability because he has a speech problem, but he also is autistic. My daughter is currently she has like speech issues because she's like 2 years old, but she's still babbling like a little baby. Now she can speak when she want to speak, but most of the time she's just talking like a child, like a little baby. And I'm just like, man, like, and if I had a full-time job, I wouldn't be able to take my kids to speech therapy. Now, Josiah gets speech therapy at daycare, but Nala, her services had to be at site. So I have to drive her to site. And for me, you know, all these different doctor's appointments for different conditions, different things. You know, people know I had the surgery. So it's just like, it's like one thing after the next, after the next, after the next, after the next. And it's just like things just keep hitting me left and right, left and right. So I guess God is like, Sierra, if you had a full-time job, could you do all the things you need to do? The answer is no. Sierra, if you had this job, would you truly be happy at this job? The answer is probably no, because I'm always talking about my knees, my back. If I had a full-time job, I would really be crippled at a full-time job versus my part-time job. I could go to work. Now, even at my part-time job, I'd be noticing, dang, my knees is killing me. My back is killing me. Like even right now, talking to you, sitting in this chair, my back is about to break. Like I'm sitting down and my back is hurting. And I'm just like, Lord, man. So it's like, God, man, he the only one who know you. He the only one who know what's best for you, where to put you at, what's going to benefit your life, what's going to help you. And like I said, I tell my story to anybody. You know, even with my gastric bypass surgery, if somebody asked me today, Sierra, do you regret having that surgery? My answer is no. No, because if I didn't have that surgery, I probably would already be dead in the grave right now. A lot of people don't know all the conditions I was going through, all the sickness I was having. I will be dead in the grave right now. So I definitely do not regret the surgery. The surgery actually helped benefit my life. Now, all the things that's coming afterwards, this is just something that's just unforeseen. You know what I mean? And a lot of people out here, they struggling, they can't breathe, you know, they just going through all this stuff. And for me, I'm grateful. I'm so, so, so grateful that I didn't have to go through all that stuff. But, you know, even with having a surgery, I didn't have no complications. I just found out that I was allergic to Lovenox because it caused me to have a seizure. But outside of that, I came out, you know, great, prospering. You know, I mean, I'm doing great. I'm beautiful. You know I'm beautiful. And even outside of being beautiful and whatever, I still am not letting my disability, you know, affect me because I still get up here and I tell the truth. I'm a truthful person. Like I always say, the realest of the real. You know, but anyway, guys, that's pretty much all I wanted to say today. I wanted to just talk about those two topics. You know, do you know your spouse the way you think you do? And again, comment down below if you think you know your spouse, because I personally cannot say I know my spouse. And I can tell you he don't know me like he think he know me. And honestly, and like I say, next, when it comes to God, are you truly listening to God? Are you listening to him speak to you? And this is not, like I said, I'm not trying to preach to nobody, but for people who really trust and believe in God, are you listening? Has he answered your prayers? Have you listened to him? Are you hearing him speak? And for the things we keep begging for and asking for, he's probably already answered your prayer and it's right in front of your face, but you just don't want to hear it, don't want to listen to it. You know, he's calling to you, he's telling you, Sierra, sit still. Neka, sit still. You know, he's here for you. He's telling you, I have heard you. I'm listening. You have prayed for this multiple times, but I'm trying to let you know this is not what you think you want. But if I give it to you, you're going to be so unhappy and coming back to me to ask for me to take it back that you want something else. So are you listening? Are you listening? But guys, I hope I was able to give you a good word today. Like I said, I ain't trying to preach to you, but I was trying to give you some insights on different things. But guys, I want you to go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share these videos. Make sure you do that. Go on over to Neka Bowers and subscribe. Go on over down below and subscribe to Neka's Tea Talks. But guys, I want to thank you. Take it easy, and it's been real.
Oh, oh, oh.